Prime Peter with part 1 of my Advanced Secret Route series on Splitgate to put you way far ahead of the competition. This series will heavily involve the concept of three-way portaling, so if you haven't checked out my guide to perfect three-way portaling, please do that and practice those tricks before you continue with these videos, as they will be fairly difficult to pull off without this prior knowledge. I'll throw up the card on the top of the screen. But with that said, this video is going to cover Simulation Alpha, one of the better maps in my opinion. There are a total of 4 routes you can run to get on the enemy side covertly, quickly, and effectively, and then I'll give you some bonus tips afterwards about how to make sure you don't die doing these and how to bamboozle your enemies even more, so make sure you stick around to the end to find those out. Before we get started, I do want you to take note that there are 3 possible spawns on this map. Our first spawn is here, our second spawn is here, and our third spawn is here. So without further ado, I'm going to start with the first route, which looks like this. So, if you spawn in either of these 2 places, this will be very easy for you to pull off. You can still do this up there, but it's a different method, and I'll show you that afterwards. So, let's say we spawn here. So what we're going to do, we're going to shoot a portal at the very bottom right-hand corner of this portal. I'll explain why in a second. Shoot that there. Shoot this here. So, I'm going to explain this more in depth in my 3-way portaling video, but basically you want to shoot it in the bottom third so that you can quickly jiggle between these 2 without hitting a little ledge. So, once you have these 2 down, again, I'll repeat that, like this, you're just going to step through, you're going to shoot your yellow portal, or whatever portal you threw second, here, so that creates it here. You're just going to look this way, and then shoot their back wall, and now you're in their spawn. I shoot it at this part of the wall is because notice that if you shoot it here, I can't see the back wall. I have to shuffle over, which slows me down. I want to make sure I'm shooting at the bottom right-hand corner of this one, so I can quickly walk through, shoot, walk through. And from this side, it's the exact same thing, but it's mirrored. So I would shoot them here. I would shoot it at the bottom left-hand corner. Shoot this here, and come on through. So next we're going to move on to the second route, which looks like this. So this route is very quick as well. It could possibly be faster than the other one, but it does have this annoying jump at the beginning. And if your teammate takes that spot, most of the time, the guy in the center will love to do this. So he'll automatically take your portal spot. So that's why I suggest going underneath if you're at the bottom, because you have this own portion to yourself. So with that being said, let's say this guy isn't going to take there and he's going to take another route. Jump up. Place here. You're going to look about at this black pole right here. You're gonna shimmy through, adjust your aim so that you're still looking at this thing, shoot your yellow, now you're through. So one more time, the route looks like this, and now you're through. Before we look at getting to locations other than the enemy spawn, we're gonna look at this location first. So if you spawn here, you do have a couple of options, and one of them is highly overlooked by a lot of people that spawn here, is that if you walk diagonally to the right, which means this way, or diagonally to the left, which means this way, so holding W and D or W and A, or just moving your stick diagonally, you can find this corner. And with that, then you can do the same thing. But I would also recommend going a little more forward so you can shoot the bottom. So again, it makes it easier to walk through. Like this. And now you find yourself in the exact same spot. So quickly it would be like this. And also from here, you can do the same thing. If you shimmy to the right and then shoot here, shoot there, and shoot here, you're doing the same thing. But it is a little bit faster if you're here, which is why I don't suggest doing it back here that much unless you're coordinating a plan with your team. Because if you shoot here, you're going to have a really annoying time getting here, and it's going to slow you down tremendously. So if you're going to do that move, I would suggest a little shimmy to the side and then doing it like this. So these next 2 locations you're going to find yourself are places you can get from using this spawn and this spawn, because you can get to this back wall either way. So here's example number 1 fast. And now we're here. And here's number 2 fast. So in both situations, I've ended up in the enemy spawn in places they don't expect me to be if they don't see me already portal air. So these methods are extremely fast if you can hit your 3-way portals. So here's what we're going to do for the first one. I'm going to break it down for you nice and slow. So again, we shoot this bottom right, shoot this near the bottom so that you can just walk through and then walk back through easily. And then you're going to shoot this anywhere on here, as long as it's in the bottom third. Back through, shoot the other one, and then you're going to look up here and shoot here. And now you're up here. Now for the second route, it's essentially the same thing, but you're looking the opposite direction on the second to last portal, so it'll look like this. And you can see this bottom one from here. Boom. And now you're here. So that about sums up all the tips, but now I'm going to give you some bonus advanced tips to make sure that you can pull this off properly and that you're not going to die. Bonus tip number 1 is be 3 steps ahead, which means that if you were to run this route, but they're already anticipating that you're doing this and that you're really fast, and one might be waiting here with, if you have a bat, they're just going to be sitting there with a bat. And I suggest if you see that the enemy team has a bat or it's a bat round and you know they're going to anticipate it, don't do that. But additionally, think 3 steps ahead. If they're going to be ready for you, then be ready for them. If you jump through this portal, make sure, again, it can be on the ground. And if it can't, make sure it's low enough where you can still step through or jump through easily and quickly. So if you're here and someone's anticipating you, all you got to do is just readjust very quickly. Maybe land a few shots and then readjust. And then you can completely cut off your line of sight if you're in a significant amount of danger. So long story short, always have a contingency plan if you think they're going to expect it or you've been doing it for a while. That doesn't only go for that back route. If you're doing this a lot and you're up here a lot and they're just going to wait here and shoot you, then think 1 step ahead. You can get behind them if they're waiting here, or you can just cut off the line of sight by going here. Now they can't see you. So it's all a matter of thinking faster than your opponent. So the second bonus tip is look the right way while you're running the routes to maximize your efficiency. So for example, if I were running one of the more complex routes, for example like this, and then going up here, I would want to prioritize that I'm looking the right direction so that I don't slow myself down. So look this way. If you want to go up there, then portal here. But as soon as you swing back, if you want to swing back, walk forward and go up, that's fine. But if you want to be even quicker, already be looking up, then shimmy to the side. So shoot, shimmy with only moving right. Don't move any other direction. So look to the side, shimmy right, shoot, shimmy left, and now you're here. But if you want to shimmy forward so you don't slip off the ledge, that's perfectly acceptable as well. So if you do that fast, and now you're here, and that was much faster than just looking the direction, walking forward, then flicking back and doing all that crazy stuff. Additionally, if you're at this point and you go here and you want to look at that far wall, remember you're going to come out of the portal. If you look this way, you can just automatically look over here. So you can just look left, shimmy, shoot, and now you're here on the ground. That's even easier. So for example, it would look like this. And the third tip is something I've briefly gone over in one of the last tips, but it's cut off their line of sight. So if you get in the back and you're getting shot and you want to quickly cut their line of sight, if they see you up here and they anticipate you up here, all you have to do is back up and just cut that, and they can no longer shoot you. But again, if you do want to readjust, you're more than welcome to do that. You can readjust and cut it off that way. Or if you were running this route right here, and they anticipate you here, all you got to do is back through and back up this way, and they can no longer shoot you. You might see some bullets come through the portal, but as long as you don't step there, or you just close the portal, it's not going to be a problem. You can also just rotate again, because again, if you shoot the purple one, it'll just disappear over there. They can no longer shoot you through it, and then you can just readjust. That'll finish everything, so thanks again so much for watching this video. If it was helpful, consider subscribing for more advanced and secret tips that no one else is telling you, and check out my entire Insane Simulation Tips playlist and Perfect Portal Guide to make sure you're way ahead of the game. Until next time, keep practicing.